Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and I have a soccer channel where I'll be placing free bets for you. It's in the description. Make sure you go subscribe to that. Let's get to the Week 15 over-unders. I'm going to work in reverse order from Monday to Thursday. First game, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals. The over-under is 40.5, and I'm going over because I think Cincinnati will put up garbage points. I think Pittsburgh will have a fairly healthy lead in this game, not like a 25 or 30-point lead, but I think they'll be up 2 scores in the fourth quarter, and I think Cincinnati will put up some garbage points. And Brandon Allen hasn't been playing all that bad, but let's look at another vantage point for this game. We're looking at Big Ben, and Big Ben needs to respond. This Pittsburgh offense needs to respond. We know this Pittsburgh defense is ready for the playoffs. We know that. We know Tomlin's going to have them ready. But is this Pittsburgh offense ready? They got a pretty good scrimmage, a good time to get right against the Cincinnati defense. I'm going over. Really damn sure about it. Next game, we got the San Francisco 49ers at the Dallas Cowboys. Over under 45. I'm going under. And Dallas's offense, they've looked better, but I think that game against Cincinnati last week is an admiration. And then we're seeing this 49ers offense. It's just not hitting on all cylinders. They're turning the ball over. They need to stick to the run. Even though Dallas can't stop anyone, I think this 49ers offense is lacking serious explosion, and that's why I'm going under here. Not enough explosion from both offenses. Next game, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the New Orleans Saints. The over-under is 51.5. I'm going over because when you have the Kansas City Chiefs, you have high octane, you have explosive plays, and you have Pat Mahomes. And I've been questioning the Saints defense all year. They've played better the second half of this season, but I feel like Jalen Hurts just kind of showed what the Saints defense really is. They can be had. And look, Mahomes is just unstoppable, and he can tear apart the best defense in this league. Drew Brees might be back, but either way, I think the Saints offense, they put up around 20 to 24 points. And then with Mahomes' output, this is going to push towards over. Next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Arizona Cardinals. The over-under is 49.5. Money, money, money. Money. I'm going under here because I think Philadelphia will play a similar type game to that Saints game. They're going to run the ball. They're not going to make mistakes. They're going to get the quick passing game going, and that will burn clock. They need to give their defense rest, especially that defense with the secondary going up against Kyler Murray. Time of possession will be key here. Plus, I think similar things will happen to Arizona. I think Arizona, they're going to run the ball more this week because the only way this Philadelphia defense can beat you is with the pass rush. That's where they explode on you. That's where they get their results. So I think Arizona is going to keep the run-pass balance. They're going to get a lot of wide receiver screens. Both teams are going to control possession every time they get the rock. And did I mention Jalen Hurts runs that ball really well? And we finally saw Pedersen use Miles Sanders how he needs to be used. Listen, the psychology of the Eagles team is different with Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, I said it last week when I picked the Eagles. I said it's not Wentz's fault. I just feel like they need a philosophy change. Jalen Hurts is that philosophy change. It's going under. Make it a money pick. Next game, we got the Cleveland Browns at the New York Giants. The over-under is 44.5. I'm going over, but this seems kind of low. And we're hearing rumors, is Daniel Jones going to play or is Daniel Jones not going to play? If Daniel Jones plays, this is going over. Even though he looked like crap last week, I think we see a response. And we know this Browns offense, they're going to run the ball, but they're playing a really good run defense with the Giants. So that's the matchup to watch. I still think Cleveland will get it going in the pass game, and I think Daniel Jones will be able to put up 20 to 24 points. But like I said, this isn't one to bet. I got this going over at the moment. Next game, we got the Jacksonville Jags at the Baltimore Ravens. The over-under is 47.5. I'm going over because when you got Lamar Jackson, you have a very, very explosive player. He hasn't had his best year this year, but Lamar Jackson is coming, and we're seeing the Ravens offense get more explosive at the right times. And who's going to cover Mark Andrews? As for the Jaguars, I don't have a lot of hope for Minshew. I've hated the Minshew hype. I don't like Minshew. I don't think he belongs even as a backup in this league. But one thing Minshew will do, he'll put up garbage points. I could see him putting up 14 to 17 garbage points just in the fourth quarter. This will be a blowout, but blowouts are dangerous with the over-under because of the garbage points. Jacksonville puts up enough just to push this to the over. Next game, we got the Chicago Bears. The Bears at the Minnesota Vikings. The over-under is 47. I got this going under. This is a playoff eliminator right here. I'm not saying this is a playoff football team because both of these teams aren't too good. But in this day and age with 3 wild card teams, let's be realistic. This is a playoff eliminator. Therefore, I think the Chicago Bears defense, I believe they show up. And are we believing Mitch Trubisky is going to play good? Are we believing he's going to play quality football? This Minnesota Vikings defense has problems. Eric Kendricks might miss this game. But even with that being said, this is going to go under, and this is going to be a playoff-type physical football game. Listen, if you bet over here, I think you're believing in Mitch Trubisky too much. And let's be honest, the Chicago defense has Kirk Cousins' number. Oh, we can talk about the last game, but look at the other 4 or 5 games Kirk Cousins has played. The Chicago defense will be more focused this week. That's why I'm going under. Next game, we got the Seattle Seahawks at the Washington No Names. The over-under is 44.5. Money, 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 money. I'm going over here. This is the worst defense in football. The Seattle defense is the worst in football. Here's one thing to monitor before you place this bet. We need to watch Alex Smith. We need to watch his health. Dwayne Haskins came in last week against the 49ers. If Alex Smith isn't starting, I don't want you in on this. I don't want you placing this bet early. You need to know Alex Smith will be starting. And the Seattle offense is dominant, and I feel like the Seattle offense will be able to throw it at will against Washington. Washington has a good front seven, but what you need to do, you need to spread it out. You need to throw it 35, 40 times a game. Then you can even start mixing in the run. Then they get susceptible to that. And do I need to say more about this Seattle Seahawks defense? I actually think I'm not saying it turns into a shootout, but both teams are going to be in the 20s. That's why it's going to get pushed to over. Next game, we got the New England Patriots at the Miami Dolphins. The over-under is 41.5. I'm sorry about the mistake. I missed this game when I wrote it down. I will be doing a separate video for the spread picks, but now we're going to do the over-under 41.5. I got this going over. I think the Patriots are going to fight, but I think Miami's going to fight even more. And this Patriots defense has problems. A lot of it is because Cam Newton and this offense, I'm not even blaming Cam Newton. This offensive talent leaves this Patriots defense on the field pretty much the whole damn game. The whole damn game. And that is an issue. At Miami, they've been getting the run game going a little bit more with Tua. Tua hasn't thrown it like I wanted him to, but one thing Tua does is he doesn't look battle shy in the red zone. He looks like a grown man in the red zone, and that is so important because the spaces get smaller, and a lot of guys like throwing it away and kicking field goals. Tua likes getting it in for 6. I think Miami gets it in for 6. I think Miami puts up some good points. Plus, I think Cam Newton's somehow able to manufacture 17 to 20 points. I got this going over. Next game, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Atlanta Falcons. The over-under is 50.5. I got this going over. I think Matt Ryan churns us over 2 times against the Falcons. And we've seen Brady churning it over lately too. He looked a little bit cleaner against the Vikings, but I think there'll be turnovers in this game. And then you got this Tampa Bay wide receiving core against one of the worst secondaries in this league. I know they've been playing a little bit better with Raheem, and credit to Raheem because I can't stand Dan Quinn. And it was good to see the Falcons get a little bit of a boost, a push forward once he lost his job. But that's not enough to stop Brady. That's not enough to stop Antonio Brown. That's not enough to stop Mike Evans. I don't even know if Atlanta will be able to stop this Tampa Bay run attack. Tampa Bay needs to get serious. Back to over. Next game, we got the New York Jets at the LA Rams, over under 44. I see a lot of the money going under here, but I'm going over because one thing a lot of handicappers, a lot of regular bettors don't take into account is the garbage points. Jets will get some garbage points here. I think the Rams will have a 20-plus point lead in the third quarter at some moment. So I think the Jets will have opportunities to get these garbage points. That's why point spreads of like plus 17.5, plus 15.5 are so dangerous as well. I got it going over the 44. Next game, we got the Detroit Lions at the Tennessee Titans. The over-under is 51.5. It looks like Stafford's not playing at the moment, but we thought that in previous weeks, and then he came out and played. I got this going over if Matt Stafford plays, but this one doesn't have a lot of science at the moment. But I really like how this Tennessee Titans offense matches up against Detroit. I really feel like you can bully this Detroit front seven. They signed Trey Flowers. Remember when they signed him and Detroit thought they were going to be tough up front? Come on, what a joke. I think Tennessee and D. Henry pound the living hell out of them. But to pick over here, you have to know that you're going to get a dance partner. And without Matt Stafford, it's hard for Detroit to do the ballroom dance and rack up these points to get it over. But I'm planning on Matt Stafford playing, so I'm going to go over. But watch your back on this. Next game, we got the Houston Texans at the Indianapolis Colts. The over-under is 51. I got this going under because I don't think Houston will have too much production. I'm the biggest Deshaun Watson fan in the world, man. You guys know that. And we've hit the Texans to win money for us this year. But there's one big factor that you need. You need a team that doesn't rush the passer well like the New England Patriots. I think the Colts get to him, and I think the Colts make his life uncomfortable in that pocket, and I don't think he has the weapons or run game to overcome it. That's why I'm going under. On this Colts offense, they've been really, really high octane. Really, really high octane. But I think Houston, divisional game, I think they actually come out and play a little bit of deep. Not a lot, but a little bit of defense. I got this going under. Next game, we got the Buffalo Bills at the Denver Broncos, over under 48. I got this going over because every game at Mile High seems to turn into a wild, wild west shootout. And why wouldn't it when you got Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs? They're the most in vogue quarterback wide receiver combination in the league. The symbiosis is at 100%. They're absolutely picking and demolishing defenses. They really are just having fun out there. It looks like Madden, and this Denver secondary has problems, but this Denver pass rush is good at Mile High. So I still think the Bills have a good game on offense, and then Drew Lock at Mile High, I think he'll inspire a little bit of magic. And I think this Denver defense, for all the praise I gave Josh Allen, I think this Denver defense gets a turnover or two. And it will put Locke in good positions. And then also, Locke will have the security blanket of a run game this week. I know, Lawson. I know you're going to say, Lawson, this Denver rush attack, they're not consistent. Well, they're going to run it this week, and they're going to make some headway. Back to over 48. Next game, we got the Carolina Panthers at the Green Bay Packers, over under 51.5. I think the snow affects things. I think this is a close game. I think this is a one-possession game, and I think this is around the 27-24 scoreline. So she's barely coming in on the under. No Christian McCaffrey, so I don't think you're going to see too much explosion out of Carolina. And even though Carolina's receivers get separation and Matt Rule makes good quality play calls, Teddy Bridgewater will always slow down the accelerator. He'll always slam on the brake, even though things are there, things are open, deep passes are there. And the Green Bay Packers, they like running the ball. They like being consistent. They like to run pass balance. I don't think Aaron the Game Rodgers has a scorching day. I don't think he has a huge day at all. He's going to play good, but I think this goes under. Last game of the week, Thursday Night Football. We got the Chargers at the Raiders, the over-under 53, and I got this going under. I don't want to hear about Herbert. I don't want to hear about Carr right now. I want to hear about – this is a psychological one. Raiders are playing for their life. They're playing for their season. And Chucky's playing for pride. This whole team has to be playing for pride. So I think there will be a response from the Raiders. I think this will be a physical game. I think the Raiders will come out and try to run this ball and control time of possession. And this Raiders defense has to be better. They haven't been good enough the last 3 weeks. On this Chargers defense, Chargers are going to be ready for this game. This isn't a Thursday night game where I think the Chargers come in and they don't show up like the Patriots. I think Chargers come in, they show up, they play hard. I'm going under. Hit the like button, subscribe, check out my new YouTube channel for soccer bets. Lawson Bets Soccer, link in the description. Share the videos. I'll have a live call-in show Friday, 4:30 Eastern. Also, look at my Patreon. It's just $5 a month. Link in description. Thank you, guys. I'm celebrating 10K, and I'm loving this life.